The thoughts finally crystallised in the middle of the night after I've woken up. Had a very nice curry last night. It was extremely powerful. Just had a crumpet with jam and it was very nice. It was at 3:30 in the morning. Alright. I was trying to get out with the whole like and dislike and a situation, so Facebook does it, YouTube does it. It's all aimed at reducing the creativity of the human mind, and it's slowly but surely turning us into a binary, something that computes and calculates and operates on ones and zeros. That's what it's doing. That's what it makes everything like or dislike. It's reducing things to, what you say. Okay, it's simplest form, but the fact is, nature is fantastic in this complexity within its simplicity. But there's every colour and every shade in between. There's an infinite amount of possibilities, of numbers, of variations. You could argue, it's all variations of ones and zeros. Perhaps that's very well argued in the fact that we're living in or it can be demonstrated and seems to be backed up that we're holograms. We're living in a hologram, in toroidal field, yada yada yada. We are torosis within a double torus. Point is, I don't know if I got to where I was struggling to find the thought the other day, and I started struggling again now. Go back to bed. It's about creativity. That's why they were called short messages. It used to be called SMSs, right? Short message service. It was quite known. It was a short thing, And I actually remember the evolution from the devolution. That's what it is. It's slowly devolving the human mind by separating and reducing thought and communication of thought into small packets of information, much like slowly but surely we're being turned into a computer. So whether it's Terminator, right? That's what I was saying. We can just rely on GPS all the time, right? Skynet is real. I think it fucking is, by all accounts. I just lost my train of thought again. But short messages, right? They were called SMS. It was short message service, and you had 160 characters or whatever. You knew that it was in the the language. It was short. It was. You get a text message. It was like I say, it replaced a letter, right? So you didn't have to necessarily reply straight away. When the person got it, you send it off, and then they send it back, and then slowly it became, people are later with the iPhone. You can see when people texting, whatever people expect, immediacy. Everything's responded to straight away. But the point of this thought that it's all over the place, but we no longer say short message services. Became text messages, become message. So it's implied that that's just a message, and that's just how long a message should be, and that's why you might feel rushed or over almost inappropriately or not rudely or it's almost selfish of you. Feel like you feel yourself to dare use up so much space in sending a message or leaving a comment. And what I'm saying is it's not an accident that these small small finite little spaces which is imposed on us to fill, to communicate. So what I'm trying to say, I don't think it's an accident, right? I don't think that they're the like. That's turning humans into everything like and dislike. That's what's happening. That's the long game, right? It's turning human consciousness into a binary tool. Binary tools. That's not the right way to say it. It's simplifying it to its most basic level. All right, but if everything is on the most basic level, we have no. We can't share ideas. I mean, we're all sharing ideas, but I don't know where I was going with this point. I think I was somewhere along the lines of, let's not be get a long text message, get a long comment, embrace it. It's a fantastic thing, and in time everything will get to it all in time, and we'll sort it out. But the fact that of all the holding back, of all the, I mean, sometimes you harness creativity by having to get something out in within a particular medium, right? And of course there's beauty in being able to do that. But what I'm saying is, get something long, someone spent time conceptualizing an idea or putting thought or contributing towards, your thought, something in the collective consciousness. Then I'm going to try to not be so instantly with my as if it's there's a general tone, and we put it out there ourselves. Firstly, by being, perhaps reticent to over-express ourselves, or overly conscious of. I went to a second paragraph here on this comment. I better not. I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. But it's almost it's like holding back, right? Holding back, I don't think is completely beneficial to all of us at this point. And when I say holding back, I'm talking about holding back as far as, I don't know, what you think, what you say, what you want to your contribution to the collective consciousness. We're here to interpret things and express them and share them and learn from them. People hold back with the truth. White lies, still a lie, yeah. We if there's something to say, I think it should be said. Something from the heart has to be heard. You gotta get it out. I know a long time ago you hold things in. Shit, everything is solar energy, right? Everything has a way of coming out at some point. You know what I mean? Look at it will find an avenue. Without going off again into another tangent, bloody stories that are popping into my mind of experiences where I've learned that along the way. Point is, I'm going to try and be more open to receiving, not even long-winded, not even long comments or replies or text messages or explanations, probably just quite reasonable human thoughts that we've been coerced into believing are long, because what we're thought is a message now was a short message. Everyone knew it was a short message. That's why it was called a short message service. It's like language will change. It evolves to mean something else. Look up the Overton window. If anyone's not familiar with that, if anyone's listening to this, fear is the biggest. Yeah, it's the biggest. It's the most crippling. Element. It's the most crippling factor when it comes to, I think, the human condition and fear of being just holding back due to fear is not good for one's spiritual enlightenment. It's just not good for it's not good for the self. It's not good for the universe which is within, and we're all within, and it's not good for, in the whole scheme of things, in the long run. The less holding back, the better. If anyone's got something to say it. Say it. You'd be surprised. Be surprised how much we don't know, and how many people may think the same, and how your thought sparks another thought. Always things happening that we don't foresee. We're like the wheel. So if you're the wheel only, I'm not going to completely stuff this up, but the idea is the wheel only knows that there's only one part where the wheel's hitting the ground, yeah? So you're that part hitting the ground, that's all you see, where that part, where the bit, we're conscious of the bit that's on the road. Right, let's say. There's a whole lot more going on. There's a whole lot of us that when we leave the road, we spin around and around and around, and then back on the road again. Right, we're only on the road, but there's a whole lot more to that wheel. I think that's how it all works, to some extent, if that makes any bloody sense. The point is, more people's thoughts, ideas, knowledge, information. We're all having these unique experiences, and that's so cool. I must say, share stuff. I'm just saying that the more people that do, the better. And holding back for fear of being judged or misunderstood, or these things will happen either way. We'll be judged and be misunderstood. All of the above, it all happens. At the end of the day, if we can just if we're all true to ourselves, true to our hearts, and respectful to ourselves, respectful to one another, then I think shit will work itself out, and all will be good. So yes, send long comments if you've got a long idea in your head. If you don't, all good. But I'm going to try to be more open to it. I get a long thing instead of a first reaction of because the box that it was fucking delivered to me, and it's a fucking tiny box. It's like you post ideas, or but we're only given these tiny little envelopes. These are the envelopes that we use now. Tiny little envelopes, a little packet, teeny packet. It's like a tea bag. No, sorry, tea bag sized envelopes, they're standard. That's all you can send here. Cram your ideas into this little tea bag. No, that's just all we have, I'm afraid. You go to the post office. I'm just looking, I've got this, I've created this fantastic device. It heals the world. It, it's an organ device. It creates harmonic resonance, makes everybody happy, cures diseases. Oh, you can't cure that. No, look, it does. Well, I just need to be able to post it. I just need to be able to get it to as many people as possible. Well, yeah, this is all we have. All we have are these tea bags size envelopes. Cram it in here. Oh, well, break it into pieces. Break your device into little pieces. Set it in as many envelopes as necessary to get the device out there. That's what we have to do. Use the tools available, but just remember that just because what you're sending is bigger than the envelope, doesn't make it a bad thing. And it just means we gotta make these envelopes bigger and break shit up and find ways to get it out to one another, despite being fearful of, at times, of the many things that we can be very fearful of. Everyone has fear from time to time. Let's just don't let it, don't ever be overwhelmed by it. Yeah. Or feel you're the only one. Alright, I don't think I'll be saying this anywhere. Just pacing up and down my hallway at 4 o'clock in the bloody morning after waking up in the middle of the night. Okay. Yeah, it was about creativity. I think that's where I was trying to get to the other day. When I was talking about I was talking about the need for us to embrace long messages as long as it needs to be. Fuck. Ideas used to be contained in books. Not many of us even read these days. I used to be a voracious reader, and I don't seem to be always capable of finding the time of actually shutting all these other distractions out to sit down quietly and spend a length of time reading. It got to the point where I do it on holidays. And that basis, I still think I will. Just haven't had a holiday in a while. But there's so many I don't know, media. There's so many distractions, but there's so many things jostling for our attention these days, and in some ways we get spread in so many different directions and pulled from pillar to post, and what we're effectively cutting off our nose to spite our face. Not that fits there. That's why the social media thing, I had to pull away from all of that. It's too much. Spreads people too thin. And also, it's a fake veneer. It's the type of it's this PR marketing fucking mentality of deception. It's just kind of gone rampant in a sense. That's how I saw it. So I see it. And it's self-deception at the heart of it, as well as deceiving others with just a simple manufactured nature, and the things not necessarily being real. And also, you see it extended to people you haven't seen in 10 years. So I don't need to see what they had for lunch. I don't need, it's everything we see and experience is takes energy, there's emotions, all this sort of stuff. It's like, well, I think what's happened in society to some extent or another with this type of speeding up of this social media and like Facebook it's fucked up. Facebook, it really is. But what what it's done is it's it's taken the same amount of, let's say you, it's an analogy, you put jam on you only got enough butter to spread on the piece of bread, right, or toast. You got the same amount of butter as you had before. Right, you're spreading it over fucking giant piece of toast. When you start adding all these additional nodes of shit to contend with, when you think about it from advertising to that's everywhere. You get bombarded with advertising. I've been saying this for years. You can't drive down the road without messages being thrown at you left, right and centre. Everyone's got messages all over their fucking clothes. I mean, I understand how that works. I studied that stuff a long time ago and thought it was extremely manipulative. It is. It's openly manipulative. It's just people are beyond, a lot of people, not just people, but some, the mass mindset but we're all easily manipulated and we're by hook, line and sinker. What I was saying, and somewhere in there was an analogy about this. We've still got the same amount of butter to spread on our bread, and personally I felt a lot better getting the fuck away from Facebook a few years back, because it's fucking use. There's no nutrition in those bits of bread that I was spreading my butter on, and that might sound fucked up. That doesn't sound very good actually, in some sense. But the reality is, we've only got so much bread. We've only got so much butter. We should be spreading it on the right amount of bread. A decent piece of toast. We're all stuck with this dry toast, right? Because it's hardly got a scaring of butter on it, because we've been spreading our fucking butter way out into the corners of bits of bread we're never even gonna eat. We've been convinced to put our butter everywhere. Spread your butter out, butter. It's butter thieves, right? There's nothing short of butter thieves everywhere, and we it looks like anything. We consent to the stuff. We do it ourselves. I'm not saying we're necessarily victims in the situation. I'm just saying we just need to be aware, I suppose, of that. And the mind control shit that comes through television is astonishing. I started watching television a few years back, and that's one of the huge differences I've seen. You look at mind control, it's a very, very real thing, and it's completely out in the open. It's obvious for people to see. A lot of people see straight through it. A lot of people don't. And when you're not even aware of it, and you think, it doesn't exist. Well, here's the bad news. Is you're under it. We're all in different levels of it. You look at this is actually something that's been discussed. I think Crutchfield 7 talk about this sort of thing. You look at fashion, you look at the trends that come through. I mean, it's a perfect example, evidence of social engineering and mind control. I mean, you see it, which is saying, a lot of people know this. Once you start seeing things, you just start seeing. You see just completely through things. If think about all the infinite possibilities in the decision you make or in the world. But the fact that we're cycling through these trends of that seem to stop or change every 10 years, I don't think that's necessarily a natural progression of the human mind in a free and open society. No, it's things being implanted back in. That's why it's cycling. That's why it's like you know, the 80s, and then so you see that theme will come back again, and the 90s, all these things that keep coming back. Well, yeah, okay, perhaps they come back in a sense because of sentimental reasons, but these things are pumping through on a cyclic basis, and it's being fed through the television, advertising, the movies. That's why these cycles, I think, are repeating in a way. It's clear. I think it's mind control, social engineering. That's why the like and the dislike thing again. It's about hampering creativity. Variety. But we need variety. Jesus, we have to have variety. We're getting slowly turned and squished into 1984 grey. One size fits all mentality, and that's what it's like. That's what a lot of minds are like these days. Anything mentioned that doesn't fit the paradigm, that goes slightly outside of the everyday thinking, what's presented to people on the fucking news. The news is, I don't know what to say the word, it's fake. The whole thing is it's contrived. It really is a show. Everything's a fucking it's not everything is a show. It's that the media, the mainstream media, you got to look at form over time, and you got to look at the motivations and these situations that happen, and who had what to gain. And we've seen enough of the false flags and that now. For a long time, it's ridiculous, to the point where even recently, New Zealand, I forwarded a really good video from Jack to my mum. I got it to watch it. It shows, and I've done this myself since, and I've explained it to my sister, and the reaction straight away is, no, it can't be. It's just, well, someone's changed this afterwards to make it look like that. The fact is that you can type into Google, an event, let alone the fact that when these things happen, the similarity, the signs all over it, there's calling cards all over bloody things, but you type the date in, you change the date range, you look at advanced search, and you put in whatever this was, like Christchurch, we did this a few days afterwards, having seen it being done, and boom, all these news articles, they come up with dates prior to the event, knowing all about it. And what it is they have these things are, I can't remember what they're called, but they're effectively inactive websites, right? Because it's a coordinated attack on the consciousness, because all these things are ready to go, planned, boom, they hit it out, goes it through all the channels. There's the fact that these things are, these articles and all the information is put together before the fucking event happens, you think would be quite eye-opening for anyone that sees it. But, my mum looks at the same thing, the mind will create all sorts of magnificent things to avoid something it's not ready to hear. It was on all levels. I'm not saying I'm excluded from that. I'm just saying that I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I forgot we're talking about Christchurch and the form. But people on some level need to help one another. We all got to do it ourselves. You can't force anyone to. Yeah, that's part of the thing that is bothersome about all of this manipulation is like I think seeking to control people is a very clear and obvious sign of psychological condition, whether it's psychopathy, whether it's more probably just demonstration of insecurity and complete insecurity and fear. I mean, it all comes from fear, right? But to think that I'll control people, but I'll control them in such a sneaky, underhanded and weak-ass way that I'm going to spend all these manipulating things so that effectively I trick them into, I control them by making them control themselves, but I'm controlling them control themselves. And I just think it's still controlling people. And manipulation is those tendencies, they're not to be respected, not to be appreciated. And maybe there's a bigger picture again, and things are being done for greater good, the right reason, or for the rest of the wheel's sake, and we're only a bit touching the road. Yeah, fine. If you're going about your daily life, manipulating people and being deceptive and dishonest, but thinking it's fucking cool, you got whatever. It's just, shit. You got a lot to learn, and in games you're only cheating yourself. That's fucking true. All of these cliches, amazingly. Shouldn't be amazing, it's quite straightforward, like everything is just there in front of us, but let's see the forest for the trees. Now I'm talking about cliches again. You're cheating yourself. I don't know what I'm going about, this is going on for way too long. Alright, okay, it's not a short message, it's not a clear message, it's not an efficient message. If any of this makes sense, it's just a freaking rambling. Had to get it out, man. That's why we don't hold back. Just don't hold back. If you're thinking about holding back, you want to say something on a message or something to someone, say it. You don't hear back from someone because people are too busy, and that's I don't get to understand that. We all have to understand that in time and not be so now. And I'm not excluding myself from this. I'm basically talking to myself throughout this entire thing. Anyhow, don't hold back. Better having too much than not enough. There's a cliche again. Alright. Bye. Thank you.